Okay guys, this is video number 2. This is about adding pages to your site through WordPress. I'm going to go in and there's a couple pages I've created on the site, but first you'll go into the admin section and I'll click on pages. And right now I have 3 pages listed on my site: resume, salmon, and sample page. You can see those. Here's a sample of one right here. So this is the one I did in class. Excuse me. It has a picture of Dwight. If we click on that, you get a picture of him. And it has the sidebar on the page, and you can leave a reply if you want to. So let's go in and go ahead and add another page just for learning purposes, right? So we'll go into the pages section and click on add new. And I'll type in my title and some copy. And again, like I showed you in the post section, you can actually manipulate this page title here once you have your title in. It's a sample page. I'll hit OK. So I change that. I guess I had a sample page already in there, so it just by default put a 2 in there because we can't have the same URL. Okay, we talked about in class about adding PDFs. I demonstrated adding a picture in the previous video in the posts. So let me go ahead and add a PDF to the site. So I'll click down and say, I'm going to add my PDF here. So I will go ahead and use this icon up at top. It's the same one you use for your images, and I'm going to select some files from my computer. And there's a PDF I have on here called About Stacks. So I'll hit open. And it uploads the image, or I'm sorry, the PDF into my library. And what I'll do is I'll click on File URL. It should by default be that. And I'll go ahead and hit Insert into Post. And there is the link to About Stacks. So if I want to change that, I'll just go in here. You got to be careful about doing this. Click here for my PDF. Okay. And I've got that in place, and so I'll go ahead and hit publish. And let's see, I don't think that because I manipulated the menu in a previous exercise, I don't know if it'll show up by default in the menu. So let's just check and see. If it doesn't, that's okay. And it's refreshing. It doesn't look like it has. That's okay. There's another way to see this page. If I simply click View Page, I can see it. Another sample page. Click here for my PDF. And there you go. It links to the PDF and prompts you to download it. I'm going to cancel that. So I have my sample page created, and by default it doesn't have the sidebar on there, and I would like that in there. So with pages, depending upon the theme that you choose, you may have a number of options of how to display it. So how do I change the way it's displayed? Well, let's just see what kind of options we have right here, and that's over in the page attributes section. So if I go down here and I have a showcase template and I have a sidebar template, I'm just going to select the sidebar template and hit update. And let's take a look at how that is. Okay, so it changes the layout of the page to some extent. We have our sidebar menu in here, and we have another sample page, test, 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 and that's changed the format of it. So I think we're good to go here. One other thing I'll review briefly with you is WordPress is very powerful, and so like I said, blogs or the posts in the pages section are very similar. So this feature is also available in the posts section. But if you wanted to change the published date, I'll go ahead and click Edit. Say, for instance, you want to publish this on a future date. What you would do is schedule it for April 20th. So on April 20th, that post will magically appear, or that page will magically appear on your site. So this helps with planning out future blog posts. Say, for instance, like I said, in strategic social media planning, you'll have a blog post calendar that you'll work with the client to plan out over a monthly basis. And often you'll try to get ahead and write those posts ahead of time and have those approved by the client. And so you can load those into WordPress and schedule those to post. So feel free to play around with that. I'll just cancel out of this. And I want to keep this current. and I'll just go ahead and hit update, and it's published. Okay, so this concludes the adding page segment. We'll talk about more WordPress in future videos. Thanks.